Hi, my name is Stephen Pope, and I am My Amazon Guy. In this video, I'm going to be talking about page optimization. So specifically titles, product descriptions, and bullet points. We'll be talking about all three of those things today. So I'm going to assume in this video that there are two types of watchers. There's going to be the person who's got their trademark and they're doing enhanced content, and then there's going to be the people that don't have their trademark and need to work with what they have. The tips and tricks I'm going to be talking about in today's video applies to both of those watchers. However, the enhanced brand content is covered in other videos. So let's start with the title of best practices. You're going to notice, first things first, in this title that I have up here for this brand called Oro 24 Karat. And it's very lengthy. It's a lengthy title. That is done on purpose. You'll notice that we've got key ingredients listed here, so that if somebody is looking for specific vitamins which have high search volume traffic on Amazon, they're going to see it in the title and we're going to be more likely to rank for it. You'll notice that we've got the brand name first. That is an Amazon requested guideline. You can get away with putting your brand name somewhere else in the title, but eventually when your product is successful, Amazon will co-opt your listing and change the title to whatever they want, and they will move the brand to the first spot. So if your brand name is strong, I recommend just putting it at the start to begin with. The name of the product comes next, and that's where you've got a bunch of long string of words here. That again, that is done on purpose. And then following the product name, you can put in the size or some value propositions or some ingredients. So we've done all of those things here. Some do's and don'ts. So first of all, capitalize the first letter of each word unless it's a word like and or something like that. Don't include your trademark or registered mark symbols. Amazon doesn't like that on the detailed pages. They rolled out Brand Registry 2.0 to give brands control of their products, and they are assuming that if you've got brand registry, you've got a trademark. So the consumer, they don't want you to use all of the symbols and things that the consumer actually might get confused by, so they don't include that. Don't include LTDs, SRL, inks on your brand names or store names or anything like that. Make sure that each portion of all the fields is filled out, everything from product name, size, brand, etc. Your character limit on titles is 200. Now, not all 200 words have SEO value. The words that are towards the back end of the 200 character count will not be crawled by search engines as much or as valuable. So make sure you put your most important stuff early on. Terms like made in the USA are better put on the back end. Same with the sizing, because they're not going to help you for SEO. Those are more value propositions to improve conversion, not be for traffic generation strategies. So that's the title. We're gonna move to bullet points next. So on the bullet points, you're gonna notice there's a lot of copy here. They are shrinking the amount of copy that you can include on a bullet point. So you have to be less than 255 characters now in each specific bullet point, or they will cut it off. And you may or may not see an error message when you fill that out. It may just show up cut off. So double check those. The most important takeaway on bullet points is that you're capitalizing a phrase that summarizes what you're going to tell them. So the reason for that is because there's two types of readers or customers. There's going to be the guy who only has 5 seconds and just wants to get the high-level view, and then there's going to be the person who goes and reads lots of detail. Very two different types of customers. Both will buy your product, so you need to customize your bullets to hit both of those customers. So for example, optimize your exfoliation experience. So we're basically explaining that this is going to be a different product because it's an exfoliating experience. And then we go on to explain, what does that mean? And we explain all that. It's high performance, it's anti-aging, it's got key ingredients, it's got gold in it, for crying out loud, right? So these are really cool, important things that we're trying to make pop. It's highly effective. We explain why it's highly effective. It's good value. We explain why it's a good value, and it's made in the USA, which is a key proposition these days as things become more and more less quality products are appearing on Amazon. By making them in the United States, it suggests to the consumer it's a higher quality product. So those are most important things you need to do. I recommend that you use a capitalized, all caps, initial phrase, and then either a colon or a hyphen, and then do sentences following that. Reiterate those important points. It's okay to tell them what you're going to tell them and then tell them what you told them. That's why you're going to see exfoliation experience twice, because that's important to help the consumer understand in detail. That is pretty much everything on the bullet points. Now, there is conflicting information on whether the words in the bullet points and the keywords are crawled for SEO. Assume that they are, just in case they are, but there really is no official documentation that they do. The title is absolutely crawled for SEO and should be the most important keywords. The bullets may have an SEO impact, but we're not confident on that. The description, we're pretty certain does have a very weak SEO impact, but we're not 100% sure on that. We see conflicting data on this point. And there are many organizations out there that have tried to do some testing on this, and we've seen limited data insight into this. So when it comes to description, we recommend a couple of techniques. Either technique one, you can reiterate your bullet points and just format them in bold or with some subheadlines. And again, this is assuming you don't have enhanced brand content, but at the very least, put some HTML in. Put in bolding, put in paragraph breaks, and that's pretty much the only things you can do. You can't put in graphics or color or anything like that into product description HTML. In enhanced brand content, which is covered in another video, you can put in SEO keywords behind the alt tags of the images, and that's a very important new and brand new technique that sellers are now engaging in. 100 characters of keywords behind each individual photo times sometimes 10 or 15 photos in enhanced content. But when it comes to the product description, just talk like you would normally. Now, it is important that you have lots of product description instead of just like one or two sentences. Often, manufacturers will only provide the bare minimum descriptions, and you need to go into a lot more detail to explain the product, the value, why should the consumer buy it, any guarantee statements. You know, avoid special characters. Again, don't put in trademark references or anything like that. But you want to avoid synonyms. You want to avoid abbreviations. Type all that stuff out. Unless the abbreviation is a keyword, then put the abbreviation plus in parentheses what you're talking about. So, for example, when we talked about EBC, that's an abbreviation, but enhanced brand content would be the full abbreviation. You don't need to use both singular or plural on the keywords. If you use it in one iteration, you're covered. You don't need to repeat words. You don't need to make sure the keyword's in there 3 or 4 times. You know, some of those best practices, which are old school SEO techniques for web content, don't really apply on the product description as much, but do include at least the baseline keywords. You can have your brand name in the product description. That's fine, but there's no temporary statements allowed. You're not supposed to have the words like new or on sale now or promotion this month only. That kind of stuff doesn't really fly. There's really not supposed to be any promotional content anywhere on your product description or anywhere on the detail page, really. Obviously, don't use any offensive or abusive terms, even if they're on brand for you. I'm looking at you, Cards Against Humanity, but you know, use normal day language. So that is the typical 3 most important things: title, bullet points, and product description. If you haven't optimized those, start there. If you've already optimized those and you're just checking to make sure you've covered all your bases and you're wondering, where do I go next? Well, EBC, get your trademark, get your brand registry, put in video shorts. You can also now put in videos into the photo section for the first time in the last 2 or 3 weeks. It's come out of beta for Seller Central. It's been available for Vendor Central for years, but now Seller Central has gotten access to that. I will also make a prediction here for you. I think that Seller Central and Vendor Central at some point in the next 1.5 to 2 years will merge as a platform. The reason I believe that is because they got rid of Vendor Express. And they also rebranded advertising for Amazon to be just advertising.amazon.com, getting rid of AMS or or all these other platforms that they built. So they're combining everything together. If you need help optimizing your content, whether it's titles, photos, bullet points, descriptions, enhanced content, building a storefront, we're a consulting agency called My Amazon Guy, and we do that professionally for clients. You can reach me, Stephen, at myamazonguy.com, or find me on my website, myamazonguy.com here, and we're happy to help you. Just hit contact up here. I'll put some additional information in the product description of the YouTube video. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to post comments on the video. We do answer those, and we look forward to them. Thanks for watching.